They thought the fog was harmless, a cozy London mist, perfect for tea, gossip, and Christmas lights. But by nightfall, the same air that kept them alive started killing them. No bombs, no sirens, just breath itself turning into a weapon. 4 days later, 12,000 were dead, and the city still didn't understand what it had done. London, 1952. A city of coal and pride woke under a ceiling the color of nicotine. Fog pressed against the glass, heavy and sweet like syrup. People lit fires to fight the cold, and each flame fed the monster waiting outside. From bridges, the Thames looked molten, swallowing its reflection. Children joked that clouds had fallen to play in the streets. Men disappeared 3 steps ahead of you. The city was being erased, line by line, by its own smoke. Every chimney, every bus, every breath wrote another sentence in a death notice no one could read yet. It wasn't weather, it was industry dreaming of eternity, and it was finally awake. By noon, the fog was solid. You could taste it before you saw it. People walked with hands out like sleepwalkers. Car horns moaned, then died in the thick. London had no eyes. The radio called it a bit of bad weather. Politicians smiled through the haze they helped build. No one warned the old or the young. They kept the factories burning because smoke was still profit. Sulphur dioxide stitched itself into every lung. It was invisible, odorless, patient. People rubbed their eyes raw and called it the cold. The city was being asphyxiated politely. Inside homes, the smog crept through keyholes. You could feel it on your tongue. Curtains grew sticky. Water in cups turned gray. Mothers taped windows and prayed the walls could breathe for them. Hospitals burst like lungs. Doctors worked blind, gauze over mouths. Oxygen tanks ran dry. A nurse wrote, "Every corridor sounds like coughing rain." Autopsies found lungs black after 2 days. The press printed numbers that lied low. No one wanted to admit that progress was killing its own city. The horses were first. They stumbled in markets, eyes weeping tar. Their collapse was so silent it sounded respectful. Men dragged the bodies into alleys that no longer had light. Birds fell like ash between chimneys. At the zoo, keepers counted their dead by touch. Even the lions refused to roar. And still the city moved. Factories whistled. Markets opened. Buses rolled. No one paused, because pausing meant breathing deep. Bus drivers followed echoes instead of roads. Horns answered like foghorns in a sea made of soot. Some convoys vanished. Only tire tracks led into blankness. Fire crews chased invisible fires. When they lifted torches, the flames bent sideways and died, starved of oxygen. Inside pubs, voices grew louder to prove existence. Beer tasted of metal. Laughter echoed like panic in disguise. Sirens wailed, but stayed still. The sound folded back on itself, trapped by air so thick it became a wall. Families tied ropes from door to door. Children traced them like lifelines. The fog turned neighborhoods into mazes. On the 5th dawn, a northern wind arrived. Weak, reluctant, holy. The city re-emerged grain by grain, like a photograph in solution. 12,000 names waited to be spoken. The government whispered accident. The word was lighter than the ash it covered. By nightfall, the chimneys roared again. The lesson vanished faster than the fog. They called it an act of God. But no God stacked coal by the river, or priced warmth above breath. We did. We think we're smarter than history. We're not. We just hide our fog better. When the wind dies next time, the air will remember what we taught it.